Hey guys, I'm Dragon LL237 and welcome back to Satisfying Factories episode 8. We're gonna get right into it today with our objectives list. So today we are focusing on, let's see, there's a better way to look at it. We are having 3 objectives today. We're going to the next level, starting the sorting center, and finishing up the factory ground level. So without any further ado, let's get right on into the building. Okay, and we're starting off here, and we are going to build the wall. So before, this isn't pretty or anything, and the pillars aren't even centered where they need to be. So that's today's job. Today's job is to place these pillars where they should be by removing them and replacing them. Take that, and then it goes slightly into the wall, right like that. And then we go zoop, and we'll just go up 10. Ooh, looks like we have to go down a little bit further. So there we have our first pillar. Oh, this needs to be zooped as well. Now I'm just laying the foundation. It looks like we need to have some on the ground here, which is a little annoying. I might be able to get in like one of these little mini ones for over here. There you go. So here we go. So this is our, I guess technically the ground level. We go up 1, and actually I need to get rid of what I just did over here, because this is actually going to be our first window. That's right, we have windows. Bam. But something about this doesn't look right. Ah, I know what it is. The windows should be offset. So the way to do that is by placing one of these guys like that. And we gotta jump all the way up here. And jump all the way up here. And notice this is the exact same level as what we are trying to place here. Bam. There you go. Now that should be centered how it should be. Yes, correct. So yeah, see, this is offset, so making it at a different position. The walls don't matter because they have the same segments on either side, so you can offset them or not, but this is offset in the center. It'll be a pain when we get to the end of the building, but in that case we're actually just gonna put a wall like that, and there'll be like that little line, but it won't really matter because there should be a pillar right in front of that line, so it would basically be invisible. Okay, so now we got that in. Okay, so this right here is actually as high as our first story is going to go. Let me go up here. It's loud today. And let me actually use this. So we are just using our 1 meter foundation. And and gonna mark this as our ceiling. Ta-da! So this is as high as our stories need to be, at least for our factory floors. Our sorting system is actually, when we get to it, going to be a lot taller than this, so it will peek out the top of the building. But we'll get there eventually. We just wanted to put that ceiling in, so technically that is laying the ceiling as well. But I'm not quite done yet. You see, we have to, I want it to be like that. Because we are going to have this go up. There we go. Yes. Let's see. Oh. We only have it go for one because the windows go up the centers. And then we have a wall. And a wall. I'll just make that go there. And get rid of that one, because that's how I get in. And this is actually going to be the theme of the full factory here. But something's missing. And that something is, this kind of looks weird that it's not separated, so how I fix that is I take one of these painted beams and make it go all the way over to the end, to the next pillar, which I haven't set in, so it's a little hard to make them. Anyway. But it's really close together in color. So I actually prepared a swatch here, where it's the exact same thing as the 15, which is what I use default for literally everything. I made 14 using the darker color here in this foundation. And then you can actually see it, so then it actually breaks up the monotony. Gives it a little bit of texture, a little bit of detail. And I think that'll be really great. And yeah, so in the future, if there's ever any floors that come out, I actually do have a design. Let's stick something in here. So I actually have a design where we can use this. And then we just have these big pillars come down to the ground. And it'll be their support beams anyway, and they will actually be offset, not like there, obviously. It'll be offset with the windows, because then it's the beams of the windows to the big steel beams as well. I'm not quite sure yet how that'll work, because obviously we've not built that yet. But we shall see. So anyway, I'm gonna copy this design and I'm gonna bring it all the way through the wall that we have already started. I'm going to lay more of the foundation for our ceiling, and then I'll bring you back as we start on the sorting center. So I'll catch you guys in a second. Alright guys, we are back. I laid down the walls, got a little bit over there, a little bit shorter, but I think the top layer has to be replaced with the glass anyway. But anyway, we are ready to start on our sorting center. I laid out our, I was gonna say telephone poles, geez, our power poles to where they need to be. I even added a few extra ones in the middle, because this is actually where our actual storage is going to be. And The rest there is actually going to be a landing pad for our hub, which, as you can see at the top, still haven't built because it's going to be placed up there. And in the front is just like a little walkway, little viewing area, and of course the elevator, which is colored in blue right down there. You probably noticed in the last episode I actually color-coded this off screen just to help me figure out where things go. Anyway, I have already laid down our little half here. The reason that this is a needs to be a half is because I didn't actually put a half concrete foundation over here, so this one would normally have been the half, but well, basically I didn't realize it until after I'd already placed all the foundation, but it doesn't really matter because it's just concrete. And we have our starting point right here at this pole. And what we need to do, we actually need to start off, we'll go 2. This is just simply for logistics. We're gonna have space right here just so that we can put in mergers, splitters, and organize until we can actually get stuff in our storage center. So this is actually 7 wide, and the reason that we are going 7 wide is actually because we have 5 storage on each side, so we're going to have 10 items per floor. And, you know, with a little extra 1 and 1 on the end just to put it all together. These are what is it? 7 wide, so it's a 7 by 7, which is kind of easy. Let me just put all these in here. Okay, and now I should probably get up there, shouldn't I? Let's get a little bit of a ramp going on. Doesn't much matter. There we go. And now we are here in our storage area where we should be. So actually, not quite in the center, but somewhat in the center, I have a crafting bench sitting center. There we go. And this is actually just, you know, a central crafting bench. We're gonna have one in every floor because in case I need to craft something manually a little bit, then I have it. So next we are actually going to place down our chests. I know I have logistics next, but that is actually going to be combined with connections. What I meant by logistics is just this space underneath. So technically that is done. But yeah, next is chests. Well, I call chests, it's the storage container, but Minecraft. So I actually have these sticking out a little bit. They are about... They stick out about, yeah, like that. Actually a little bit further than that. Like that. And that is because we're actually going to have a wall right here. And then you can actually see the chests popping out a little bit, but they are mostly hidden. You can actually climb this ladder if you wanted to. I mean, you don't really need to, but you know, if you want to. There's not going to be anything up here. We're actually going to have a, if I could place it, these. So yeah, there's no reason to get up here, but if you want to, hey, you know, you can. It'll make my life a lot easier later on down the line. Um, when I start making the roof on this thing, because that'll be a whole nother story. But, yeah. So, we're just gonna have that go all the way down the line, and we can't actually do a lot of the beautification that I have planned. And the reason being is we don't have them unlocked yet. You saw, you know, I unlocked some things, but it's really slow going with our, awesome points. Because we don't have anything up yet, you know, and the only stuff that we have going is right there, and I don't want to lose, you know, all the work that we've done so far. As soon as everything turns off, then I will probably start sinking it into the sink. But until then, yeah, not gonna waste my precious time. I actually rerouted some of the extra iron that wasn't being used up into the sink. But yeah, it's just gonna be some slow going. I will start sinking things into the sink after we actually connect all of these into the sorting center. So basically after this episode, then we will start to rack up the points. But until then, it's slow going. Anyway, so we will actually have a side door. So the side door is actually going to be here. I say actually a lot, sorry. That will actually, again, change because we will have a slant roof, but I don't have that unlocked. So we have this logistics access door, but that's kind of ugly that it's there. So guess what I put in there? The equipment workshop, because guess what? You see that door? So that door is actually somewhat lined up. So yeah, we have it here, so it's lined up a little bit. It's a little bit weird because it's a smaller door, but it works. You can still go through it, you know. I wish that it could be lined up a little bit better, but you know, that might just be me. I'm actually gonna get rid of that. We just needed that to place it. It's gonna be floating for right now, but that will be fixed later on. And actually, I did just realize I put this on the wrong side. My bad. That needs to go on that side. So let me do that real quick and just mirror and put in all the chests and stuff, and I'll be right back. And it's dark. But I'm back, and I rearranged it, so it was confusing me because I was coming up from that direction, but our elevator to come up is actually here. So like I said before, this is actually the front, that is actually the back, but it's the other way around in the blueprints that I use. So it's a little confusing, but anyway, we're back. So before I was placing these little belts here, and well, why would I need that? It's actually a good visual to show what's gonna be in these containers. But something else that I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to have the little display things, for example, like these things. But I'm gonna have like a square one that it'll just show the image of what the item is. And that'll just be a good indicator. So basically, if there are items here, that means that there's probably gonna be items in the box. If there is not items here, then something's probably wrong. Or we're just not at that point in production yet. So yeah, the next part on our list is actually going to be the connections. So I will actually label these with the sign that I just showed you temporarily, and connect these all together with the right side that we have completed so far, and I'll come back to you with what I did, basically. I don't really want to show you me doing that, because that's just gonna be really boring, and I want to try to avoid that in all the further episodes, because I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me doing things in fast motion with the same Gran Turismo song. So yeah, I'll be back when we got some items in our boxes. Okay, and I'm back, and it's been a while. But I have done what I said I was going to do, and a little bit more. I'm sorry. We're just gonna go in and explain what I did anyway. So, let's get into it. So I started to do the connections. So we got iron plates in here. This has been running for a while. We got a lot. We got reinforced iron plates. They're basically empty because I've been using them. Iron rods, they're okay. Screws should be, yep, full up. The reason that the reinforced iron plates are kind of slow is because this was filling up. But that should be picking up now anyway. Rotors, doing pretty good. Modular frames have been pretty decent, all things considered. Actually, I can put away some of those. And we don't have wire, cable, or any of these set up yet. And that's what we're gonna do right now. I actually X'd off everything that I have done. I actually completed the copper plant, and we can see that over here. Look at that! Well, that wasn't there before. Well, now it is! So this is already, you can see they're all powered, they're all orange, they're all yellow, so that means they have power, but they don't have items going in or out of them yet. And that's what our last to do check is. We are to connect everything together. But warning, like I said, I did some work. It's empty. It's empty because I went in and I destroyed everything. Everything that we had before is now gone because it's all here. All of it is here. So we're going to reconnect everything up. We don't have the max miner. We actually need a Mark III for our copper here, but we have Mark IIs. As you can see, these are Mark IIs. That's what the industrial casing is for. I had to craft manually 50 because we don't have the floor for that. That's actually this floor that I'm standing on, floor 2's job. We haven't set that up yet. That'll actually, yep, that'll be the next episode. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, we are gonna get right into it over here. I want to put that back. Thank you. So as you can see, we tore down our tractor depot. The tractor wouldn't be able to get here anyway because there's a factory in the way. So that had to go. Actually, I moved all of the stuff into the boxes over here. See steel, quartz, other steel, and this actually remains here for right now temporarily. This will be moved to in front of our facilities, but for right now it remains here. I'm actually going to do that. And that'll just clean up our cables here. Our cable management is mediocre at best. What else did I do? So I tore down, like I said, we had the copper going on here. That is all gone. They are moved to these chests over here, these containers. And I tore down, we already tore down the hub, which I replaced, and now I removed it again into those little personal chests over there. And we tore down the awesome shop. That's what I was trying to say. We tore down the awesome shop and moved it over here just because it's a little bit more out of the way. This belt will obviously get destroyed, but we're destroying some iron ore that we're overproducing right now, so it will remain. Okay, I got all the talky stuff. Now let's get into it, shall we? Before we were creating the concrete here, now we're going to move the limestone up there to create it, but we need to replace our miner. We had a Mark 1 here before, now we're gonna upgrade it to a Mark 2. Actually, I don't like that orientation. Hello, little doggo. I just saw you. Hi. Oh, I guess that... No, I wanted that direction. Okay. And give it some power. So this should be producing 120 correct. And we are going to bring this up there. Let me get up here. We are going to bring it up here because we actually have another limestone deposit over there, so we are actually going to merge them together. We're going to grab a merger over here, and we're going to place that, oh, I don't know, about like there. And I actually reorganized these cables, so we can actually select that and just put it right on there. Now this should be producing the same amount as the other one, 120. But we will underclock this one. It does not need to be that much. I'm gonna do that real quick and I'll be back. Alright, and there we go. We only needed 45. So now you can see we had a lot coming out and now we're only having a little, and I can actually downgrade this belt because we were having under 60 items per minute coming from this miner. That's under upgrade, downgrade, I guess. Let's downgrade. And now we have to bring this wire over to that opening over there. So we have 120 coming from the one miner and 45 coming from the other miner. That produces 165 items per minute coming in here. The belt can only carry 120, but that'll be changed later on. Here we have our first little bit of limestone coming in. Here we are. So it's getting split up evenly between our constructors. And there we go, we have our first green. So we are starting to produce, which is fantastic. And this is going to merge back up and send on its way. And this is actually a great time to talk about what I did for our connections. And look at it. It is a mess. Look at this mess. Things are going in on top of each other, through each other. Ugh, it's terrible. But there's a reason for that. And the reason is we don't have everything unlocked yet. We're still on what are we, like we're still on like tier 1 or something. Yeah, we're on tier 1. We're not on tier 0 anymore. We're on tier 1, which means we don't have hardly anything unlocked, and something that I absolutely need to make this function correctly is what's called a super smart splitter. Basically, it takes items that are on a shared belt and can organize it so that it goes to its correct destination. Yeah, we don't have that, which means I have to have everything on their own separate belts, which is why it looks like an octopus. Or I guess it's a squid, because it's got 10 legs. Ooh, look at that! We have our first bit of concrete heading up. So this is all going to head up to our chests. So now we see, bam, it's our first one! And we'll wait for a couple extra seconds, but they should, yep, here they are, concrete! We are producing concrete now, which is amazing. So the next step is going to be, quite obviously, the copper. So copper is going to be a little bit more difficult to do, because copper requires not 1, not 2, but 3 Mark III miners, and we only have Mark II. And guess what? We only have 2 nodes over here. What are we gonna do? So I did a little bit of scouting, and thankfully we actually don't have to go too far. You see that? There's just a little bit of green up there. Let me get a better vantage point. See that all the way over there? So we are actually going to be able to use that and bring it all the way over back to our base, so we don't actually need to use any transportation or anything. It's right here. It's a decent enough distance to use belts. I mean, I've spanned belts across pretty much the entire map, and that also works, but you know, you should probably utilize your resources a little bit better. But I mean, belts. But side tangent, we do technically have 3 nodes, so I will bring that one over, and then we will have all 3. However, as I said, we only have Mark II. It's not quite enough, but it's good enough for now. What we are going to be able to do is take these 2, hook them up to some power. Let's see. Actually, I want to bring this over here because that's how we're gonna connect our 3rd thing. Our line's gonna go that way. So now we are producing. These are also normal, so they're only producing 120. We need either pure nodes or Mark III, and we don't have any pure. Okay, I did a little bit of math, and we have something that's very unfortunate here. And because we only have 3 nodes, we're kind of limited with what we can do with our miners. And we need a lot of copper. Not currently, but eventually we will need over 500 copper ore per minute. Which, when we have... Actually, I think it's over 600. Excuse me, it's over 600 items per minute, and if this can do 200, and this can do 200, and that can do 200, we're barely scraping by. But the problem is we need to split them after they've all merged. Because, as you can see, we have 1 entrance, 2 entrances. We need to merge the 3 and split them into 2. It's kind of unfortunate because we need the one is an even 360, which theoretically would be great if we had a Mark II and a Mark I. Be perfect. Except we need it to be upgraded because we need 300 to go into this one as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, but we will figure it out. So I am going to lay this merger here, and we are going to take this straight out and this straight out, and then this is going to be from that miner all the way down there. We're just gonna put it here. But now, okay. Now we have to, I'm so sorry, Bush. Clear the path. Now we have to put in our splitter. Just put it there. I mean, it's close enough. And we're gonna send this one. Belt is too long. Just there, and then to there. And then we're going to split this one off. Ooh, I'm out of plates. See, I run out of them really easily. So yeah, now we have our Mark II and our Mark II. They need to be updated to Mark IIIs. Yep. There are currently some green lights going on. That is fantastic. That is super. Let's see, what is all being produced here? We got some cables going, we got some sheets, and I think, oh, we are now making wires. So yeah, this was the first belt. So the second belt is actually stopped. This belt is carrying copper for later down the line. We will need to make copper powder. And I think aluminum needs copper ore as well. So that's gonna be created on like level 4, 5 or something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. It's not gonna help at all, but I am actually going to real quick run down and make that extra miner. Like I said, it's not gonna help us. We are loaded fully on our belts. We cannot put any more items through, but you know, it's preparing for the future. I had a real quick look in our hub, and we can actually expand to the next level of belt, which will significantly help. However, our next splitter upgrade is not for a while, because we need to find a resource that I cannot find yet. It's not on the wheel. I can't find it. Oh, I just double found sulfur, I think. But anyway, yeah. I'll do this real quick, and I'll get back to end up the episode. Alright, that's gonna be it for this episode. We got a lot done today. Like, so much. We started building the walls, we started building the ceiling, which is technically the floor for level 1, because we are currently on level ground. We started the sorting center, we finished the logistics, which we'll have to look back to on a later date, but you know, it's done. We connected up all the chests and stuff. And we got done our copper plant, which is amazing. And of course, lastly, we connected our limestone and our copper ore together. And in doing that, we got rid of our initial base, which is amazing. We don't have an eyesore out there anymore, although it's still kind of webby. I'll call it a web. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one.